So in this video, we are going to revise one area. It's very simple, but it can be very complicated if you don't understand it very well. So this is the question that we are going to discuss today. Explain the ambiguity in the following sentences. So the term is ambiguity. And these are the sentences that we are going to explain. And before we explain the meaning, I'm going to explain what ambiguity is. And by definition, the term ambiguity refers to an expression or a sentence that has more than one meaning. In other words, the meaning is not clear. It can mean this, it can mean that. So an ambiguous sentence can have two meanings or even three or more meanings. That is what we are going to do with these sentences. And before we start, this question can be asked in two ways. One is, explain the ambiguity in the following sentences, or give two different meanings of the following sentences. So if you are asked to explain the ambiguity, you have to show the different meanings. How the meaning is not clear. It can mean this, it can mean that. The first sentence, the tourist saw a monkey with a telescope. It's right there. So what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to give the two different meanings of this sentence. Think about it. Yeah, that is very true. One, it can mean that the tourist saw a monkey that was having a telescope. That is meaning one. And meaning number two, it can mean that the tourist used a telescope to see the monkey. The meaning is not clear. Number two, he narrated to him his success story. He narrated to him his success story. And it has two meanings. One, it can be the narrator who's narrating his success story. And number two, it can be the narrator, but now narrating to the listener, who is him narrating his success story. So we are not sure whether the narrator is talking about himself or is talking about the success of the person that he is talking to, who in this sentence is referred to as him. Now I want you to pause your video and try this number 3 and number 4, and then before the end we're gonna do it together. Okay, for the dancers in the house, Dan loves dancing more than Claire. Dan loves dancing more than Claire. The first meaning is, Dan loves dancing more than he loves Claire. That could be one. And number two, Dan loves dancing more than Claire does. So we are not sure which meaning the person wants to communicate. And I hope you are right. I know you're right. Valentine spent all the money he had set aside for emergency. Meaning one could be, he had set that money specifically for emergency, and then it came and he used it. And meaning two, maybe he had kept the money for other purposes, and then an emergency came, so he had to spend the money. It's not clear whether the money he spent was set aside for emergency or it was set aside for another purpose. Remember that an ambiguous sentence can have two or more than two meanings. And that is the end of our lesson today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. In case you have any question, talk to me in the comments.